Leonard in the Olympic trials. I
Yes, I
just,
did.
man, forgive me. I thought I knew everything, man, but nah. Take us through your I was like, how did I not know this, man? How did I not know this all these years, man?
Yeah,
Take us
yeah.
through that
Ray,
experience. Go ahead. I'm
Ray
sorry.
and I.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to fight in the National Golden Gloves,
Uh-huh.
and Ray got cut.
Wow.
He got cut. I think his lip got cut real bad. So he defaulted to me, and then we ended up fighting in the Olympic trials.
Mm. How was that 76 team compared to 84? How would you compare 76 to 84?
Oh, that's. I think it would have been pretty close,
Pretty
but
close. Pretty close.
I think 84. I think 84 probably was the best team ever.
Ever. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting because we had Fred Zakendo on, and obviously Mark Breland and stuff like that. He's penetrating through uh, the media ways. But I got a question. I always wanted to know what's the difference between, because you've been a fighter and you've been now you're a Hall of Fame trainer. Can you speak to the difference in the business of the sport as it pertains to a trainer and a fighter? Give the fans some insight.
It's breaking up. I hear you, but then it's
Okay.
breaking up,
The,
so I can't hear you.
the what's some of the similarities and differences between being a Hall of Fame trainer on the business side of boxing, the Hall of Fame trainer side of your life, and your fighting career?
Well, I think like being a fighter, of course you have a manager and and you may have a promoter. So when you're dealing, you have two people to deal with, and then it's kind of difficult to say that you run your own career because you don't. You have to listen to what the manager says, and then you have to listen to what the promoter says. Then you have to make up your mind, that all of y'all got to be on the same page. But as a trainer, really, I only have to deal with the fighter because art is not the fighter. Then I have to deal with the manager as far as my fee is concerned.
Mm, got it. And would you say it's more challenging, or I should ask you, which is more challenging, being the fighter,
I think it's more challenge.
business side?
No, it's more challenging as being a trainer, I believe,
Really?
because when you start. Oh yeah, absolutely. Because when you have fighters that fight on pay-per-view, say, right? They get paid for the money. If they're the top guy, let's say they're the lead guy on the A side, so he's going to get money off the pay-per-view also. Then you have to deal with that part of it also. So because as a trainer, you're supposed to get a piece of everything, not just you
Wow.
know the upfront fight fee, but you get a part of everything else that comes in later.
How do you manage that? Because it seems like there's no overhead, just a shake of a hand and honesty, pretty much.
Well, that's what it's supposed to be, but a lot of times it's not that way. Sometimes uh, they try to hide that fact from you that you still get the extra money. And I've
Oh.
seen a lot of lawsuits happen
Mm,
behind that,
mm.
so, but, you have to know before you go in there, on that certain fight, if you if your guy is going to get a percentage of the pay-per-view.
Right, right. That leads me to ask you: has that ever happened to you? Like you were shortchanged? Can you talk about it? Can you? I mean, you led me there, Coach. You led me there, Coach.
Well, it didn't happen to me. Well,
Uh-huh,
basically it did, but then it
uh-huh.
didn't.
Okay,
Because at the time it did happen, I wasn't a head trainer, but I
got it.
was I was the assistant trainer. And but once the head trainer filed a lawsuit, you know, I didn't even ask for nothing, but they send me money anyway after they
Got,
settled the lawsuit.
got that. Got that. And you've trained some hella fighters, man. Let's start up top with Evander Holyfield. How did that relationship morph come to about?